My father-in-law offered to teach my son to swim. My wife said yes. 3 hours later, my neighbor called. The phone rang while I was washing my hands. Soap. Water. Routine. My neighbor's voice broke through the steam like a blade. You need to come to the lake. Now. No explanation. No breath between words. I remember drying my hands too carefully, folding the towel, hanging it straight, as if precision could slow what was already moving toward me. When I reached the shore, everything was wrong in quiet ways. Too many people. Too much space around my son. He lay on the sand like something the water had rejected. Blue lips. Still chest. His small fingers curled inward, as if gripping a secret he couldn't let go of. Paramedics worked him back into the world. One breath. Then another. Relief came late and thin, like a delayed echo. Then one of them stiffened. Sir, he said, too softly. You need to see this. What? He turned my son gently, reverently, across my child's back. Perfectly spaced bruises. Finger-shaped. Old. Not from today. I didn't move. Behind me, someone exhaled contentedly. I turned. My father-in-law stood near the water, hands clasped behind his back, smiling. They said it was exhaustion. Cold shock. An accident. That word kept floating around, bumping into walls, never landing. Accident. My wife cried into her hands. Loud. Convincing. She never once looked at her father. That detail stayed with me. At home that night, our son slept under observation. Machines whispered for him. I sat beside the bed and counted his breaths, each one a small permission to continue existing. My wife spoke in fragments. He meant well. He raised 3 children. He loves him. Love. I watched my son's chest rise and fall. Measured. Controlled. Just like the pressure marks on his back. I remembered small things I had ignored. My son flinching when my father-in-law entered a room. The way swimming lessons were always their secret. How my wife shut conversations down with practice speed. You're imagining things. He's old-fashioned. Don't make it weird. I hadn't made it weird. I had made it convenient. That night, while my wife slept, I replayed the smile. Not nervous. Not confused. Satisfied. I didn't confront anyone. I learned instead. Hospital reports. I requested copies. Bruising timelines. I compared dates. They didn't align with the lake. I installed a small recorder in my son's backpack. Told myself it was precaution. Told myself lies were sometimes necessary. I listened at night. Long stretches of nothing. Then breathing. Then my father-in-law's voice. Calm, instructional, intimate in the wrong way. Pain teaches faster. Your father doesn't understand discipline. Don't tell your mother. She worries too much. My wife's phone became a second education. Deleted messages recovered. Missed calls at odd hours. A pattern of obedience, not affection. She had learned silence from him and taught it to our son. I stayed gentle, predictable, harmless. Inside, something rearranged itself. Not anger. Alignment. The pediatric specialist didn't raise his voice. He didn't need to. These injuries are consistent with repeated submersion punishment, he said, and manual restraint. I nodded, took the report. At home, I placed it on the table between my wife and her father. No accusation. No tremor. Can you explain this? My father-in-law's smile faltered for the first time. Not fear. Annoyance. My wife's face collapsed inward. She whispered, "You promised." That was the moment. Not the bruises. Not the lake. The promise. I had already called Child Protective Services. I had already sent copies to the school, the pediatric board, his community center. I had already moved our son's records, changed emergency contacts, filed for sole custody. When they came to the door, I stepped aside. My father-in-law tried to speak, authority cracking into pleading. I didn't look at him. I looked at my wife. You didn't protect him, I said. So I will. No shouting. No spectacle. Just procedure. He lost access first, then reputation. Then silence became his new discipline. My wife signed the papers without resistance. She knew this language. Weeks later, I watched my son float in a pool. Arms out. Trust tentative but returning. I stayed close. Visible. Real. The lake is quiet now. Avoided. Sometimes I think about the smile. How it thought it would last. It didn't. I didn't take revenge. I took control. And I never looked back to see who drowned behind me.